Hey friends, we're back. So, as promised, this week we are going to talk about how to use this lovely little guy right here, Gua Sha massage tool. I really want to call it a gashao, and it's not that, it's a Gua Sha. So, I'm probably going to say it wrong at least some point during this. So, we're going to say it right in the beginning. Um, so this little guy is an amazing tool for your face. There is a lot of benefit to using for it. It's also a treatment that can be done on the body. So when it's done on the body, it's a little bit more intense. And it helps with things like chronic pain, moving stagnant chi or energy in the body, and it can be really helpful with inflammation. And like I said, it's a little bit more intense when it's done on the body. We're actually trying to inflict bruising and bring blood to the surface of the skin when we're doing it on the body. Of course, on the face, we want to be a little bit more gentle than that. So when we are doing it on the face, a little bit more gentle, a little bit more blissful, I think is a good word to describe it. And we're really getting into the acupressure points on the face. So there are acupressure points all over the body, and there's a lot in different areas of the face. So a temple is a really good one to massage here in front of the ear, along the top of the neck here. We hold a lot of tension in the neck. That whole new concept of like tech neck, because we're staring down all the time, a lot of tension in here. So we can help to relieve this. So we're not just kind of sliding this around on the skin, we're actually really getting into those acupressure points. And that's some of the benefits of some of these different edges and the different shapes, is to really be able to get in and work those points on the face to help relieve that tension. So easing facial tension is one of the big benefits to using this on your face. Another one is improved blood flow, which we all know there's great benefit to that. It's going to help depuff the face also by moving fluid and getting things moving in the body, lymphatic drainage, things like that. And it's also going to help work to get a brighter, healthier complexion. Some things you want to keep in mind, real stone, jade, or rose quartz are great options for these. I have some notes here to make sure I tell you guys everything I want to tell. And these come in some different shapes. So maybe you've seen this before in a little bit of a different shape. I've also seen one that's kind of like square with two knobbies on the top. That can maybe be a little bit deeper in the acupressure, where these are like a little bit of a softer edge. And there's variations of this shape where it's a little bit deeper of a gap here. So you can kind of just play around with what works best for you. These aren't super expensive. So you can get, one or two different shapes, maybe mix and match, use both, depending on what you decide that you like best. This is one I've seen a lot in some of the research that I've done. I've only used this one, so I can only speak from experience with this, but I like the edges and the shapes on this for contouring the different areas of the face and neck. So first up, we want to make sure we start with clean skin. And just a little side note, you might not want to use this if you're dealing with a really serious outbreak or a sunburn or anything else really serious going on with the skin, because you are, gliding this across the skin and moving it. So you might just be kind of chasing that bacteria around the skin, and we wouldn't want to do that. Second up, kind of piggybacking off of that, we want to make sure that this tool is clean, because we are rubbing it all over the face. So if it's, just think about it, if it's kind of grimy and you never wash it, it's covered in bacteria, and then you're taking that bacteria and rubbing it all over the face. So we don't want to use that. So you can just use a little bit of alcohol. And we're just gonna take a little on a cotton pad here and just kind of give this a little wipe down. Make sure it's nice and clean. Also clean this with soapy water after I use it. So just making sure this is nice and clean before we're gonna rub it all over the face. Clean skin. I washed my face before we started this video. You guys really don't, you know how to wash your face. Then we want to put an oil on the skin. So what that's going to help do is help this glide across the skin, because you don't really want to be pulling and tugging at the face. This should be gentle, even though we're getting into some of those acupressure points. So we want to think about this moving smoothly across the face, and using some kind of oil or serum is going to help us do that. So if you were here with me last week, we made a facial serum. You can use that recipe. You could use just a carrier oil by itself, or any kind of serum or oil that you normally use on your skin. So we're just going to take a little bit of oil Rub that on the face. And you might want to go a little heavier than you normally do with your skin. I find that when I use this, I'm taking a lot of the oil off. I can see it on the gua sha when I'm finished. And we want to get the neck also. So yeah, you might want to use a little bit more oil than you would in just your regular skincare routine. We're just gonna rub that in everywhere. And then the next thing we want to make sure is as we're using this on the skin, we're not taking this perpendicular to the face. So not like straight on at a 90-degree angle. You're gonna use it so that it's almost flat against the face. So it's a little easier to see on my arm here. So we don't wanna drag it like this along the skin. It's gonna be a little bit more intense that way, and you might feel it the next day or afterwards. So you want to take it almost flat. You could almost call it, I think I've seen like a 45-degree angle written places, and you're going to glide it like that across the skin. So keeping that in mind, we're going to start with the neck. We work our way up, and you can even take it from the shoulder over all the way up from like the edge of the shoulder up to the ear. I'm just going to do up the neck for this video. So you can use your other hand to kind of create like an anchor point on the skin. And I'm going to use this edge. You can use this curved edge also on the side of the neck and the shoulder blade if that feels good. But I'm just going to use this long straight edge all along the neck. So you can kind of create that little anchor point here. And we're just going to slide it up. And as you get into this muscle here, you just give it a little wiggle. And that's that tech neck muscle, right? Where we get a lot of tension. Sometimes we don't even realize how much tension we're holding in the face. And as you're exploring the face and doing this, you might notice some areas are more tender than others. Just a nice little massage here. And you can do it all the way around the neck, the back of the neck, and massage right into like the base of the skull at the hairline there. That's a big tension point also. And then we're going to go around the neck, working our way to the middle. Same thing, just a nice little wiggle here under the chin. And you can do like 3 to 5 strokes in each point. And we want to kind of move slowly here, right? So we're not going really fast. Like I said, we don't want to pull and tug at the skin. We want this to kind of glide nice and smooth. If you find that it's not, oh, this side is definitely more tender than the other. If you find that it's not gliding nice and smoothly, you can add a little bit more oil. And if you find a real tender spot, you can spend a little time there, right? And then we want to work our way to the middle of the neck, where, you know, a lot of us get kind of that loose skin as we get older here. So this is going to help work that and just work right up there. And that's how you're going to approach the neck with it. So next up, you're going to use the ridgy, bumpy side along the jawline. Another place where we get a lot of tension, right? There's that big muscle here. We use it to chew, to talk. We're using it all day long. If you carry a lot of tension or you have issues like TMJ, you grind your teeth, you really might notice some tender spots in here as you're doing this. So same thing, we can kind of create like a little bit of an anchor point with the fingers, and then using that edge, just gonna slide right up along the chin. And when you get up here by the ear, same thing, working that little muscle that's there. And I might feel that's a little tender. Yeah, we can feel that acupressure point there. And just get right into that point. And I'm just gonna do one side of my face to get this moving for you guys. Then we're gonna come back to this long edge and work our way up the cheekbone. So this bottom ridge is gonna kind of sit in underneath the cheekbone. So you're almost thinking about it as pointing this down a little bit more and this up a little bit more, but gliding across the face like this, up to the side of the face. And then same thing when you get up here, just a nice little massage here. And you'll play around with how much pressure you want to use. This is going to come right from the nose up to the side of the cheek. You know, not too deep. Think light to medium pressure here. And then next up, we're going to come underneath the eye. So that area of the face is very delicate, right? We're always told that skin around our eyes, very delicate. So we want to be gentle here. We're going to use one of the knobby points, and we're just going to come underneath the eye like this, coming up to that temple. And that's a good acupressure point right there, right? A lot of tension, headaches, and everything all right through in here. Come under the eye, and you can use create your little anchor point just to prevent some pulling and some tugging on the skin. Like I said, 3 to 5 strokes. I've kind of made this part of my bedtime routine for the last week, and I usually do about 5 strokes in each spot. Moving nice and slow as we go through this. And we're going to come back to this knobby point and work the brow bone. So same thing, you can create your anchor point here and just coming across the brow bone up to that hairline. Oh yeah, that's real tender right in there. I feel that one. And spending as much time on this as feels good, right? Moving nice and slow. We don't need to rush this process and make it really fast. This shouldn't be something you're trying to just get through. Think about this as like ultimate self-care, right? Another ways you can use this ridge is at the top of the nose to help kind of relieve tension, headaches. So you can come in here and just nice little massage right across the brow bone. We're going to come back to this long edge for the forehead, and so we're working our way up from the neck, jawbone, up the face, eyebrow. We're going to end with the forehead. So you can start at the middle. We're going to start right from the bridge of the nose, and this is a big acupuncture point right here. It's one of the most important ones. So really getting through this point, coming up to the forehead, and there's a lot of acupressure points all along the hairline. So same thing, just nice little massage, little wiggle up here. Moving up the forehead. And then we'll come out the side. So same thing, coming up from that brow bone. And you can kind of use the side of your finger here as like an anchor point. Moving up the brow bone, massaging at that hairline. And there we have it. So that is Gua Sha massage. So obviously you're gonna do both sides of your face. I only did one side of my face to save time. Last up, like I said, you want to wash this when you're done with it. So I can see the oil residue on here. You don't want to let that build up. Like I said, gross, right? We're massaging our face with this. So hot soapy water, you can either dip it in a bowl or just wash it in your hands under running water. It does get a little slippery though, so be careful because you'd be really sad if we drop it and break it, right? So being gentle, little soap, little water, clean it up, and then it's ready to go for next time. So that is our little video, this week's installment of Wellness Off the Mat on how to gua sha massage your face. And I can already see the difference in this side of my face from this side of my face. So I've been using this for about a week so far as part of my bedtime routine. So I'm excited to see after about a month or so if I notice any difference in my skin. I didn't take a before picture, so maybe I'll take one today so that I can kind of have something to compare it to. But yeah, I'm excited to see where this takes me over the course of a month as a regular practice. And I will say it makes for a nice bedtime routine. You know, I already washed my face, did my whole skincare thing, you know, brush your teeth, get ready for bed. And I find that this is a really relaxing way to wind down at night. It kind of puts me in sleepy time mode to go cozy up and snuggle in for bed. So I hope you guys enjoy. These are pretty easy to find if you don't have one already. I got mine at my local crystal shop located in Wurtsboro, New York, Crystal Connection. I've seen them all over the place. Like I said, just make sure you're buying something real stone, jade, or rose quartz, and don't don't be afraid to play around with some different shapes and try some different things, and find what works for you. There is tons of information online about these and demos and tips and tricks. I will post a little bit more information on the website when I put up the video also, about this wonderful little tool and the benefits that it can have for your skin. So I hope everybody has a nice weekend. Happy Friday. I will see you next week for more fun wellness off the mat. Bye guys.